Okay, we're talking about ellipses. We've done circles and we've done parabolas. Ellipses are way similar to circles. So basically, an ellipse is a stretched circle. So ellipses are kind of just stretched circles. If you know anything about the planets, all the planets orbit in ellipses. They don't orbit in circles, we orbit in ellipses. So that's why we have hotter months and colder months, and yeah, I don't know a lot about that. But so here, say that this was a circle. I could just take these two outer points and I just pulled them out. That's really all I did. I pulled them out and I created an ellipse. So it's like an oval. Instead of a circle, we've created ovals. Okay, here I pulled them out on the vertical direction. So I pulled it up and I pulled it down instead of pulling it out. You could either think about it as stretching or you could think about it as smushing it. So we could have smushed the sides of these. And we're just creating ovals instead of circles. Okay. One of the biggest differences between ellipses and circles, with the equations at least, is these are always set equal to 1. So they're always set equal to 1. I'm going to write that somewhere. So always set equal to 1. If they're not set equal to 1, you have to make it so it is set equal to 1. So you have to divide or do something to make it so it's set equal to 1. And then they also have these things called foci. So a foci, so it's focus. Foci is focus plural because focuses sound silly. So a foci are these dots right here. And basically, if we were to attach a string to both those dots and pull that string all the way around, that would create this ellipse. So if we were to attach a string right there, so it'd be attached to that one and that one, like if we were to put nails into there and then attach a string and then pull that string tight and go all the way around, it would create this ellipse right there. Okay, so that's what the foci are. Let's just jump right into this. So we have to graph this equation. So first, you have to find where the center is. If there's not any parentheses, the center is at 0, 0. So here my center is at 0, 0. Okay. Then we have this a squared and b squared. And see how this is a squared and b squared, but the y's on top here? We're not going to worry about really switching our x's and y's. The biggest thing I want you to do with your a squared and b squared, a is always under the larger number. Always under larger number. Or is always the larger number. So always larger number. And b is always the smaller number. Okay, so like on this one, 25 and 16. 25 is very obviously bigger than 16. So this is my A, this is my B. And if we look up at this equation, it's always a squared and b squared. So this is actually a squared, this is b squared. Okay, and I'm just gonna solve this for A. So a squared equals 25, square root it, so a equals 5. And it's under x. So this is under x. X is the horizontal axis. The x is this axis right here. So I'm going to go left and right 5 units. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing with my b squared. So b squared equals 16. Square root, so b equals 4. This is under my y, so that's my vertical axis. So I'm going to go up and down 4 units. Okay. And then let's just graph this right now. So the center is 0, 0. So I'm just going to graph that point right there. My A is 5, and that means I'm going to go left 5 and right 5. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then my B is 4, and it's under the Y, so I'm going to go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I can just graph this. So I guess I'll graph it with blue. So I'm just going to graph this. And then the last thing I need to do is find my foci. So to find the foci, it's always, so the foci, you always do c squared equals a squared minus b squared. We don't know c. We don't have a c yet. So this is going to be c squared equals a is 25, a squared is 25, minus b squared, which is 16. So that's c squared equals 9. So c equals 3. And it's always in the direction of your longer axis. My longer axis is, my horizontal axis is x. So I'm going to go out 3 here, out 3 here. And you're done. Okay. Let's do this next one. So we have to put this in standard form, then find the vertices, and then the foci, and draw the ellipse. Remember, this always needs to be set equal to 1 if it's an ellipse. In order to set this equal to 1, this is 100 right here. That's not 1. But 100 divided by 100 is 1. So I'm going to divide everything here by 100. Divide by 100. Okay, and then I'm just going to simplify this down. So let's start at the left and move right. So let's simplify this fraction. The x squared is obviously going to stay on the top. And I'm going to do this part. So I'm going to do 25 divided by 100 is 0.25. But we want that in a fraction. So I'm going to go math, enter, enter, 1 over 4. So that's x squared over 4. Now let's move to the next one. So the y squared is going to stay on top. And I'm going to do 4 divided by 100. 0.04, math, enter, enter. It's 1 over 25, so that is plus y squared over 25 equals 100 divided by 100. You shouldn't have to do this in your calculator. It's 1. Okay, so that is 1. Now we've put this in standard form, in a form that we can graph it. So you start by finding your center. There's no parentheses, so it's 0, 0. Now let's find our A and our B. Okay, 25 is bigger than 4, which means 25 is my A squared. 4 is my B squared. And notice how 25 is under the y squared now. And so that means that this is going to be along the axis. My major axis is going to be the y-axis instead of the x-axis. Okay, and let's just find A. So A squared equals 25. Square root both sides, so A equals 5. If we do this one, B squared equals 4, so B equals 2. And this means we go left and right 2. This is under the y, so we go up and down 5. Okay, and then let's just graph this part. Once I find those, I usually graph them. So I'm going to graph my center. I'm going to graph my A first. So I'm going to go up and down 5. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Also going to go left and right 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. And then there's that. Last thing I have to do is find my foci. So this is F, it's always c squared equals a squared minus b squared. So that c squared equals a squared is 25 minus b squared, which is 4. So that c squared equals 21. Square root both sides. That's not going to be a pretty number. So I'm just going to pull out my calculator. Square root of 21 is 4.58. So I'm just going to round that up to 4.6. So c equals 4.6, about. And c is always in whichever way is longer. So this is going to be vertical. So I'm going to go up 4.6 is about right there. Down 4.6 is about right there. And you're done. Okay. This shouldn't be too hard. It's very similar to circles, but instead of circles, we went out the same in every direction. This time, you are going out in different. So you go out different numbers. So like your X, you're going to go out 2 here. Instead of, if this was a circle, we would have gone out 2 in every single direction. Or we would have gone out 5 in every single direction. Okay. One last example. So if our vertex is moved, we have to find our vertex first. We're always finding our vertex. This is already set equal to 1. We're good. So the vertex, same as circles, is the opposite of what's in here. So that's going to be 3, -2. Okay, and we're still going to find our a and our b. It's the same way, our a squared and our b squared. 16 is bigger than 9. So this is my a squared. This is my b squared. So I'm just going to do, so a squared equals 16, which means a equals 4. That's underneath the x, so that means I go left and right 4. And that's 4 in both directions. Okay, and then b squared equals 9. So b equals 3. It's underneath the y. Y is the vertical axis, so I go up and down 3. Okay, now let's just graph this. So I graph my vertex first. So I go over 3, down 2. There's my vertex. Then from this point, I'm going to go left 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm also going to go right 4 from this point. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then from this point, I'm going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and down 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we can just graph this. And the last thing I need to do is find my foci. It's the same way that we did it before. So the foci is c squared equals a squared minus b squared. So that's c squared equals 16 minus 9. C squared equals 7. That's going to be an ugly number, so just pull out your calculator around to the first decimal place. So it's the square root of 7, 2.6. So c equals 2.6. And the longer axis is my x-axis, so I'm going to go out from this point, 2.6. 1, 2.6 is about right there. 1, 2.6 is about right there. And you're done. Okay? Please come to class with questions. If you have questions, bring them to class. Okay? Thank you. I'll see you guys tomorrow.